I really think that this should have been a movie. It was not worth 8 episodes. On a scale from 1 to 5, I'm going to give it about a 3, 2 out of 2.5, 3. Hated it. Hey y'all, welcome back to Trece Talkz. So y'all see the title and y'all see the thumbnail, so let's get into it. So yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said hated it. When I tell you this is a slow burn, it is a slow burn, and I personally hate a slow burn. So it took me a few, I would say, probably a couple of weeks to finish this. I tell you, people are so easily entertained because I just don't see it. I say episode 1 and 2, and then go all the way to 6, and then to 7, 8, girl, because at the end of the day, the rest was just fluff. Like, if you watch 1, maybe 2, and then skip to 6, I promise you, you will be fine. You will not have missed a beat. Because this could have been a movie. The rest of that was just fluff, character building, whatever you want to call it, but it was not necessary, in my opinion. It was a typical movie about, and yes, this is heavy spoiler, so if you have not seen it, please exit out. Come back when you have, because I'm about to spoil it. Alright. So, this is a typical movie about a man who murders his wife, but nobody can prove it. This is a high profile man, has a lot of money, has family with money. They kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, dirty. They got dirty money. So, they're doing a lot of backhanded deals and things like that. The father is basically trying to cover his son's ass, which is the main character, Niles Jarvis. He's trying to cover Niles, but throughout this whole movie. And as the movie plays on, when we get to episode 6, it all starts making sense about how, basically Jarvis was a angry child who grew into an angry adult, and he just kills people just because, and not, I won't say not without reason, but he kills people very randomly and nonchalantly. Like, apparently he killed people when he was young. He killed his wife. He killed the officer in the movie. Like, he's killed a lot of people. And his father apparently seen the rage but didn't want to believe it, so instead of like addressing it, he just covered it up. And his father has like a right hand that they call his uncle, that basically is the cleanup man in the series. And his father leans on the cleanup man a lot, and the cleanup man cannot stand Jarvis because, number one, you making my job harder, and number two, you making your dad look bad. But yeah, so like I said, he killed his wife, but nobody can prove it. So Agatha, who's the other main character, is a book writer. She hasn't written a bestseller in a while. She's only had one, and then she had a tragic accident with her son, who caused her and her wife to split because they couldn't, obviously, get over the tragedy of that loss. Agatha, or they call her Aggie, she always blamed herself for it. I believe her wife somewhat blamed her for it in some regard. So they never got past that together. Her ex-wife has moved on with her life and is trying to build her life outside of that. Aggie, however, is just, have become somewhat of a hermit who just kind of sits in the house with her cats and tries to write a book that is going nowhere because she doesn't have that anymore, because she's still grieving the loss of her child, even though it's been some time. She still sees the person that was involved in the accident, because it was a car accident. And it was involving a drunk driver who just happens to be an underage drunk driver. She still sees him around the neighborhood, so she resents him, and everybody in the neighborhood knows that. Jarvis makes a mental note of that to use against her later. Fast forward. Her and Jarvis become cool. She agrees to write a book about him because his initial request was for her to sign off on him getting a jogging trail in their neighborhood. She wasn't with it, so he decided to come at her with a different angle because he seen that her house was falling apart and she needed money in her pocket, so he offered to allow her to write a book about him because he felt like she would be the perfect person to basically tell his side of the story. Well, that was the biggest mistake she could have made because now she got herself in all this mess. So once she agrees to write the book, she gets a knock at the door one night, and it just happens to be the officer that was on the case way back in the day when Jarvis's wife went missing, because she died, but there was never a body that was found. So the old detective feels like, he knows something is not right, but he can't prove it. Nobody can prove it. That's why Jarvis is still free. So he tells Aggie, like, you need to be careful. Don't get so close to him. Just be careful. She really doesn't take it seriously because the detective comes to her house after hours, drunk, and he just basically is like, she's not taking him seriously because, bro, you're not even being professional. Like, you drunk right now. I can't even take you seriously. But she makes a slight note mentally. And as time goes on, she's hanging around Jarvis more because she's writing a book about him. So she's trying to get, information. And, as time goes on, she's starting to think like maybe he was capable of murdering his wife. So she's getting clues and things, and she's working with a detective low key. But Jarvis finds out about it, so now he's on her ass trying to get close to her to see what she's found out. Fast forward. She did end up finding out that Jarvis did kill his wife. He faked the suicide note that she left. But Jarvis found out that she found out, so he devised a plan to set her up to look like she unalived the boy that was in the accident that killed her son. Obviously, she didn't do it, but he set her up. And so she's now running from the police, and she has to end up turning herself in because everybody that she thought she can trust, Jarvis has flipped on his side or killed. So she don't got nobody else to turn to. So in a last-ditch effort, she goes to Jarvis's new wife, who she feels like, she might be able to get through to. Well, that wasn't successful in that moment. So she ends up being arrested and going to jail. Later on that night, the new wife comes home to Jarvis. Jarvis is already aware that Aggie has been arrested. So the new wife, Nina, that's her name, the new wife, Nina, start putting two and two together, and she just start asking him, like, bruh, did you kill your wife? Did you kill the boy in the accident? And so, out of anger and rage, he ends up admitting to it. Little did he know that Nina was recording the whole conversation. So, of course, the next day, Nina gets him arrested, and Aggie is released. And that's how it ends. Basically, Jarvis killed his wife because he found out that she was talking to that detective from back in the day. She was talking to him trying to get him set up so he can be put in prison for some backhand deals he was doing, because he was like very volatile. But because she had mental health issues, nobody was really taking her seriously, and she stopped taking her medication. Blase, blase. It was a mess. But that's why he ended up killing her. What else? That's basically it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, if y'all jump to episode 6 through 8, you will be fine. I promise you. It is not worth 8 episodes. It is not worth one sitting of watching these 8 episodes. I promise you. I don't know what people was watching. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of a good series, movie, whatever you want to call it. And this just did not do it for me. So it was about a 2.5 or 3 out of 5. Would not recommend. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, this is The Beast in Me. It is still on Netflix. If you want to check it out for yourself, please feel free. If you want to do that and come back and let me know in the comments how you liked it. If you've already seen it, please let me know how you but rate it in the comments. Tell me 1 through 5 how you would rate it and why. But yeah, that's all I got, y'all. For more commentary like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. Of course, like, share, drop me a comment. And until the next time, y'all, be safe.